Alright, so hopefully this works. I feel a very weird sensation, to be honest with you.
How many birds does it take to screw in a light bulb? Toucan.
Hi Chrome, how's it going? Thank you so much for the resub. This is like, if you could see the angle I'm currently at, I feel like I'm doing Pilates. That needs to go down. Thank you so much for the resub, Chrome. I appreciate you. How are you doing? Also, do let me know if the audio quality is shite. Like, I didn't think that I'd be back using a fucking Blue Yeti in the year 2026, particularly because this is the second microphone that I ever streamed on. So, hey, we're back to that again. After so long of being being an XLR gamer, we're back to the good old USB. But yeah, feel free to shout all forms of abuse at me if the music and stuff is shite, or if the audio quality is bad. I think I used this microphone before, like acting as if I could record whenever I was at my parents', and it no dice, no. But what are we doing? Audio sounds good. Happy days. I'm actually I'm going to be putting I'm going to be doing a Amazon order. They have, like, it's a really basic XLR microphone, to be fair. Like, it's nothing fancy at all, but they'll be putting in an order for like a it's called a Blue Ember. It's like half price at the moment. It's fucking insane. It's like 40 quid. So I'm waiting until I get paid, then I'm going to do an order for an XLR. But if depending on how the microphone sounds, I might just stick with this one. Although it is substantially bigger. It's fucking huge. I feel like I got a migraine. It's like blocking out 80% of my field of view. What am I going to do with this person then? I like painting red. The word bearers red always gets me excited. It's kind of Japanese or Chinese inspired, so I think red and white will go quite well. This feels really bizarre. Like, I'm 100% more used to video game streaming. But I feel like I've come this far. I'll just have to make sure that I actually, paint. Excuse you. Thank you. Music just ended really abruptly there. I'll have to just remember to try and paint in shot, as it were. It's going to be really difficult because I'm suddenly going to... Oh, damn. I saw a bunch of hobbycrafts were shutting down, which is sad, but, like, there's a couple near me. Like, my mum makes cards and stuff, so there's a couple... Let me move the microphone away so I have space to put my hand down. There's a couple of hobbycrafts still in existence, but the one I go in, you can just tell that it's been fucking raided by by like teenagers. They've literally removed all the Warhammer from the boxes and have put them behind the desk because people were walking off with the sprues. I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's the Wild West of hobbycrafts being targeted for fucking burglaries. It's really interesting because, like, I would have painted as a kid with my dad, and like we would have made sort of airplanes, like Airfix models, it's really interesting how much more accepted, I think. Jesus. Ugh. Sorry, ears. Ugh. how much more accepted Warhammer and like this level of miniature painting has become compared to like, you know, airplanes and stuff. Thank you, Geek. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Holy shit, that's all. That took me by fucking surprise. Huh. Because I want to paint a couple of like I really like ships and like naval history. It's something I find quite fascinating, particularly if there's a wreck involved. So like there's a really cool model that actually means a lot to me because I painted it originally with my dad and then we chucked it out, unfortunately, because my mum was a great one for sort of like, you don't need things. So I don't have a lot of my childhood stuff anymore because it was like, you're too old for this. I do love how she continually says, it's like, you're too old to wear t-shirts. I'm like, what do you want me to wear then? Honestly, I feel like there's a great I think our generation and like the generations either side are like victims of this, where we were sort of like told that we needed to grow up, and that meant that wasn't like an emotional thing. We were already there. It was like, you're too old to have safety stuff anymore. You're too old to have toys and stuff like that. So we got to get rid of all those. And I was just like, I'm fucking emotionally traumatized with no anchors to our childhood. So we just go around buying way too many Funko Pops. Which may be a thing of the past anyway, because I think Funko Pops are in trouble. I know, right? It's mad. Like, I'm quite fortunate because I also bunged a bunch up into the attic. So now at my parents' house, there is a giant, and I mean giant, it's like at least 3 foot tall, like action figure of, I have no idea what the fuck it's from. I need to Google lens it actually. And even I need to look through like the old Smith. I don't have like a Smith's catalog for like 2005, because there's this one like this one toy that I remember getting for Christmas one year, and I loved it. I have no idea what it's called. I don't actually, Geek. I don't. Whereabouts was that? Because we would have been more Lisburn shoppers whenever I was growing up. Just because my mum is kind of like me, but, you know, from the generation where you weren't really allowed to have ailments in terms of, like, you know, you weren't mental, you were just weird. But she struggles with crowds, so she's stuck to the... Oh, this is the thing, like it was a rite of passage to fucking circle shit. I feel like you genuinely kind of got what you wanted, like, as well. Not in terms of like oh, I got everything I wanted, but like whenever you're like presented with a list of toys and stuff, and you have to like circle it and stuff, you get the full spectrum of what's on offer, kind of thing. You know, yeah, it was Argos and then Smiths and then Hawkins Bazaar, if anyone remembers that, was for all the kind of weird shit that was just like to go round the other stuff. You know, you got your main stuff, and then Hawkins Bazaar was just other random ass shit to sort of make up the numbers. Like, I think they were still selling, you know, those gerbils that ran around in hamster balls that were everywhere for like fucking 10 years. Literally, they would have painted, they would have sold those. This is like, so we, my girlfriend and I were in yesterday. We were doing a food tour. It was like a gin tour, which was lovely. It was actually, I was very impressed. But like, I had sort of wandered around the day before because I left work early. We get out a bit earlier, but my bus doesn't come for an extra hour and a half, which is a fucking bollocks for me, because I could be home, I could be like doing this. But no, I'm stuck in Belfast. Fuck me. And I went around, there was fucking nothing. Thank you, Raid Shadow Legends. Just got a notification on my PC that Raid Shadow Legends, the Demon Lord is a 30%. Thank you. I don't know why I'm doing it in that voice. I actually really like that game. You stream? Okay. Oh, I get you. Craig Avon's pretty good for shops, to be fair. It is quite good. Lisburn fucking died a death, though. I feel like Lisburn was great in like up until like the mid to late 2000s, whenever game and stuff were still there. That's the point, actually. The last, like, I don't know about elsewhere in the UK, but officially, the last game that was a standalone store in Northern Ireland has now officially closed. It closed at Christmas, but oh my god, as soon as they stopped being able to sell Pokemon cards, nothing was being sold in there. And they've all moved into a Sports Direct just down the road. I wonder if I actually do this a different way. So we have these paints here, the AK Interactive ones are class. I got like a rock series, like a rock and stone, funnily enough. It was like, I was gonna have a look in, see if I could get the stuff on sale. Anything you would actually want was not on sale. The only thing that I had my eye on was they had Batman Talisman. The HMV actually looks really good though. I gotta give the people who renovated the HMV credit, because it actually kind of looks good now. I would have thought that it would be in the same kind of the same vibe, the same sphere. I actually don't think I necessarily need that, actually. That's fine. We'll just stick with the white. So I was gonna put some grey in the creases and stuff, but it's all fairly uniform, I think. Hopefully this is on camera. Don't get me wrong, like, it does look like they just kind of ran out of money halfway through, and then just thought, yeah, sure, let's go with an industrial look. I do worry about HMV, though, because I feel like the clientele list is actually really small, but then you see, like, I think HMV lasted long enough whenever it was kind of in trouble to then come back around the other side and then be cool again. Because, I think our generation was sort of so smitten with the kind of iPod stuff, you know, like, oh, I could download music, and now it's come out the other side, and all of a sudden it's like, haha, we want physical media rather than everything being available, you know. So they were like school kids buying vinyls for themselves as well. They were buying like fucking Radiohead and shit. And I was like, oh my god, I feel like that album's like as old as I am, and they're just like, oh my god, it's this album. Oh, it's on vinyl. That's really rare. I'm like, Jesus, I feel very out of touch. I realize I need to put down a texture paste on the base as well. Oh well. But no, the game at the end was just really sad, because I remember like the game used to be so good. Going to game and getting a game used to be such a massive treat. I kind of wished I think the last game that my parents bought me was Pokemon Sword or Shield, whatever one I ended up getting. And even at that, they were like, "You're too old." Like, literally, my mom was like, "You're too old for us to buy your Pokemon game." I was like, "Yes, but I want to remember that this Switch is a console that you bought me." And they were sort of like, "Actually, that's kind of sweet." They're like, "Ah, fuck, fair enough." I don't think we had Game Station as much. I think we were just Game or HMV. What model is that? Welcome in, Remnant. This is... I don't know the name of it. It's one of the heroes from the Cursed City box that I've been working my way through for... I don't even want to know how long. But yeah, she's one of the one of the kind of heroes. I looked up for the name. Because in my head, if I manage to fulfill my pledge for the 1 million, I probably should explain for those who don't know, the Warhammer shops in certainly the UK, but maybe further afield, are doing like a pledge to paint 1 million miniatures as a community. So I've pledged to at least do 25. So I figured that was a good enough kick up the ass for me to actually, you know, God, I did not make this model easy to paint when I put it together. To start doing a painting stream. Yeah, so like if you go down to your local, you kind of sign yourself up for a pledge. They put another, like a total pledge number. Pledge to do 1 guardsman before 2027. This is the thing. It's until like the middle of May, and like not to take away from the Warhammerness of the stream, but this is the model I managed to paint over Christmas. Which is for the Hellboy board game. That took me like 2 weeks to do. They probably get the boots done. Honestly, like I like to take my time over models. I find it really helps my mental health because I just sort of disassociate a little bit. It's so nice to kind of focus on something that's directly in front of me and that I can see physical progress being made. But like I had said, I think back in like 2024 that I was going to do a painting stream. And then whenever I started to set up this as my study in my girlfriend's house, I set it up with sort of the possibility of doing a painting stream in mind. Are you painting and building up a guardsman army then, Remnant? I have to admit, I normally paint oh, it's been so long since I painted them though. Nagash, Night Haunt, minis. So they have a really cool Gravedigger as part of the Cursed City set. That took me no time at all. I am well versed in painting things that have long ceased breathing. Ask me to paint something with skin tone, fuck, I'm in trouble. A, because I'm colorblind and I can't see pink, so they end up looking like fucking tomatoes. Or trying to, like, my hand is not steady enough for, like, doing eyes and, like, that level of fine detail. So most of the time it's usually just, like, a little bit of ivory and then some contrast paint slapped over the top and then a little bit of highlighting, call it a day. It's an interesting army. I don't know many people who chose Guardsmen, to be fair. I have a couple of Krieg, because I really like their style. Not their yeet into the face of danger style, but like their overall sort of vibe. That actually looks quite nice. It's going to be a fucking pain to try and highlight that white, though. Alright. Let's go back to the cloak a little bit while we have the white out. My red paintbrush back. But I'm hoping that these... It's hard for me to find the time to sort of balance streaming video games. Like, I'm currently playing through Rogue Trader, which is a bigger game than I thought it would be. Not complaining, I'm just like... I also said that I'd finish X amount of games this year. So I'm hoping that by having an option to do painting streams, that I will end up just streaming in general more, because all of a sudden I don't have to choose between some of my hobbies. Besides, this feels like a nice cozy kind of Saturday vibe, doesn't it? Fight the Sunday scaries by actually being a little bit creative. Also, yell at me if the model isn't in shot. This is still very much my first ever miniature painting stream. And I have no doubt that I'm going to make some fucky-wucky forever box mistakes. None more so than my elbows currently resting on the corner of my my dry brush palette. That's not too bad. This kind of cloak or like dress is kind of a pain to highlight sometimes just because it's quite broad. If it's just like fine like ruffles, it's sometimes just a bit of a pain. That's too watery. Fuck. Yeah. Fuck that. What are you studying, Remnant? But I totally get you. So, like, I work 5 days a week, a full-time job. But in order for me to get to that job, it's a 2-hour commute every day. So, like, I'm leaving the house at like 6 o'clock, and I'm getting back at about 6 o'clock. Very cool. I used to really enjoy biology in school. I went down the history route. But I actually do quite a bit of like medical history, looking at sort of old hospitals and healthcare and the like. Very cool though. But I am hoping to get a little bit more time to work from home, because that would be lovely. I'd be able to, like, if I got like the occasional Friday off, I'd be able to like start streaming as soon as I sort of finish work, which would be lovely. There we go. We'll do a bit of a glaze over the top of that, and that should dull down the contrast a little bit. But that should look quite nice. I'm a little bit confused to what I need to do for this white, though. I do have a whiter white, but I'm not quite sure how that's going to go. Yeah, I've sort of got almost supernatural white, which I can highlight, but it might be a little bit of a pain. I'm gonna leave the metallics to last as well, because I'll have to break out the what's it called? The dry palette, which I don't necessarily have all the space for. Oh wait, no, that's a different thing. Never mind. Never mind. Ignore that little bit of white then. That is, I think, going to be red for a little bit of continuity on the headdress. I'm not hating the background music, actually. I'm impressed. Where do I go from here? Probably stick quite light. We'll start to get the sort of tassels. I'm not going to be able to do the script on those purely because I'm not good enough. You can kind of see up there. Sorry to ruin the illusion, but my finger does go through it. You might be able to see there that if they sort of had script and stuff, which I'd love to be able to do, but my hand, I can't do freehand. I'm not there yet. Maybe one day, but not right now. Ooh, right. glaze over the top of that. Hopefully that sets in a decent way. Where's my brilliant white? There. This white is fucking weird. Like, it's unnaturally white. So, put in perspective, that's the white we put on, which is white. That's like that's like a Vanish advert. That's like whiter than white. But it does well for highlighting and for ghosts because it doesn't look natural. It's too brilliant. It's like flawless white. But it has proven like very, very good, very useful. Alright, let's see if this makes any difference at all to the highlighting though. I say all this, it could mean absolutely jack. This is where being colorblind and trying to paint miniatures sometimes doesn't quite pay off. And then a little bit of a highlight on the blouse. It does kind of feel a little bit like Art Attack. I feel like I need a wee mascot or something like that. A wee pumpkin. In fairness, we're making really good headway. I mean, I've been painting for 40 minutes. Which also I'll need to disappear and spin the washing, which is the most adult conversation I think I've ever had to say on stream. Don't mind me, guys. I need to put the washing out to dry. When I first started streaming, I would have been hard-pressed to remember to eat. Yeah, don't mind me, guys. We've got chicken nuggies shaped like dinosaurs in the fucking oven. You guys probably won't be able to tell if there's much difference in the highlight there. Focus. Maybe a little bit. The color's slightly corrected on the camera, which is fine. It's a bit of a pain, but here's what it is. Right. Do I want to do this bone color, or maybe tell you what, we'll do this one sporadically. And only for the back. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this music not the ones with that Viva La Dirt League use for some of their videos? Epic NPC Man or whatever it is. There's just some music that you're like, fuck, I've heard that before, and then you're like, those bastards, that's where they got it from. Actually, maybe you should use it. This face is in darkness, to be fair. That should work quite well. Just enough peeking out. Those look like hands, right? Yeah, let me rephrase. Those look like hands that don't... Those look like hands that don't have gloves on them, right? It looks like they've got van braces. I don't like painting leather gloves. But they look like they look like naked hands. Whenever you're painting models, it does remind me that I'm actually kind of shit at building them. Building them is not the fun part to me. Painting them is, but like every so often I just see a bit, like I find a bit that I've really poorly cut off the sprue. I did a really good, I've given a really good tip actually for basing that involved sprues for rubble, which I'd never thought of before, but in hindsight, fuck, it was a really, really good tip. For whatever reason, this... Thought I heard the dog behind me. It really confused me. I thought all I heard was a... There you go. That needs a little bit more coverage, to be fair. I hope I'm not going to look, listen to this back and be really disappointed at how the my old Blue Yeti holds up. The bar for quality of streams has just shifted so much. It's kind of scary. How much like the start line seems to be so much further away than it used to be. Just trying to do the different colors as I go. Hopefully it'll help the model come together a little bit quicker. That being said though, the setup to do a painting stream was actually a lot easier than I thought. I was thinking I'd need to have like a really fancy, like I bought a camera with the intention of doing this and doing like puzzle or like board game videos or whatever else. This is don't get me wrong, it's a good webcam, but it's one I've had for a couple of years. I think it was a natural upgrade because holy shit, Razer Synapse is a horrendous piece of software. Sorry for any of the Razer fans. Like whenever I started gaming, Razer was like the company to use. I think everything in my setup currently is Corsair. Don't get me wrong, Corsair suddenly shits the bed as well. This is a really pearly covering paint, actually. It seems to be like really, like the coverage just isn't great. I'm not sure why. It's not coming off the paintbrush terribly nicely. It is. I'm almost at a stage now where I feel that I have a favorite paint, and that's concerning to me. It's like, oh, what's your favorite paint? And I would answer, That one. Word bearer's red. Best paint I own, so I paint so many things in red. Honestly, love it. I guess my second pot. The only other pot I've gone through is Lead Belcher. That's out of necessity. I fucking hate using metallics. Not a fan. It is starting to come together, actually. I'm kind of amazed. I'll do another pass on this hand. And then I missed the thumb of this one. Then I might check the washing. Because adulting! Yay! And then we'll work away at the skin details. I need to be conscious that I'm actually slightly too far forward sometimes. Cool. 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. I need a new BRB screen. Ugh. Here, look at that for a while. There you go. Swear. The washing machine is the biggest fucking lie. Ooh. Right. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do it this way around, I think. One thing I need to improve is how I photograph my models, because I feel like my actual models are better than the photographs that I take show. Or I could just be full of it. That's also a possibility. Like, I'm not about to go onto Fiverr and make a living. But I feel like I'm actually above average. I'd hope so, anyway. Considering how much time I take over each model. But I think that's just a symptom of my ADHD. And just the need for unnecessary levels of perfection. Also, I hate painting hands. I wonder, actually. Hang on. Where are my skulls at? Chat, lurkers, I might need your opinion on something. Hang on. Where did I put my skulls? There my skulls. Right, so, questione for you. Just put my headphones back on. Do you think that this looks weird? This would probably be the one. Right, so we have here some mage of some sort or t'other. Do you think putting a... Do I have any sticky stuff? I don't. Do you think putting a skull there would look odd in her open hand? I feel like it's missing something in that hand, you know? I feel like that's open for no apparent reason. And I think I've got like a really perfect skull for it. Do I have any other weird skulls? I have a Chucky head. That's like I think so, Chrome. I think it's missing something. Just having a hand like that is just weird. All right, super glue. Hey Simon, how's it going? Long time no speaky. How you doing? How many different scales of potato color? I have lots of browns, if that's what you mean. Oh god, I'm gonna stick my finger together again, aren't I? Yeah. Fuck. Right, how is this gonna work? Yeah. Ah, no! It's already sticking to my finger. Fuck you. No, it needs to look kind of that way. Oh my god, decide what you want to fucking stick to, please. Not that. Eh. There we go. Locked into a good position. Alright. But no, Simon, how are you doing? Welcome in. It is hard because the skull is not quite the right shape for the hand. No, that looks weird. Oh. Yeah. Right. Change of tact. We will put some super glue rather on the hand. We'll put it on the skull. That should work. Simon, are you still playing Rocket League, by the way? Or is that ship finally set sail? Do you play every now and then? Not every night like you used to then. I know it has been ages. Like, I feel like we've not spoken for like 2 years. Has it been that long? I'm just gonna blame you. It's like, you're the reason why we've not spoken. But no, I do hope you're doing well, mate. It does feel like fucking ages ago. Oh, damn. You have been busy. Are you allowed to say whether or not you won? Not as if this is something going to be coming up in a court of law anytime soon. It's like he said on this Twitch chat where this guy was painting a fucking plastic figure and super gluing his fingers together. In fairness, I'm much the same, Simon. Like, I'm painting from my girlfriend's house that I now have a study in. Damn! So needless to say, you're not going to be working there again, I guess? I'm trying to not breathe while trying to highlight the skull. I don't know really what I want to do with the other one. Hopefully it sets soon. I mean, hey, it's all your fault, really, Simon, because, like, you know, our generation just doesn't want to work. Slash get taken advantage of. I am expecting a I have an appraisal coming up, and I'm just going to be pushing for greater flexibility. I want to work from home more. Well, when I say more, I want to work from home at all. But I'm terrified because I want to paint a target on my back. I'm gonna make the skull really pale, I think. Or try to anyway. More pale than the other one. And I might try and do something cool with the eyes, maybe. I do have somewhere a technical paint, which is now I think a contrast paint, but well, I do have neon green, but I don't think that's quite the same. Ah, you bastard, I knew that was going to happen. Alright, hold on. Ugh. Might have gotten away with it actually. Slight paint spillage, but not a bad one. Move you over there. accuracy, I think we escaped largely fine. Slight paint spillage, but I think we're okay. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I know. This is the thing, is that they do have a flexible working policy, and I'm literally just doing desk-based work half the time anyway, so it's one of those sort of like, it's how you basically say, is my output what you're wanting or my location, without being a dick, you know? Okay, so we'll go with, where is it? Skeleton Horde. Why is that not want to close though? No clue. No idea. Anyway. Hopefully I haven't gotten any paint anywhere that it shouldn't be. That would be a fucking lovely start to my painting streams. Yeah, welcome to the only painting stream because I covered half my clothes in paint. One thing I always like to do is I like to put tufts of grass next to the skulls because it covers the fact that I've placed them and then I haven't really thought a huge amount about how to paint the back of them. I'm hoping this skull will make it look like a level of biomancy is going on. Something along those lines. Alright. 1 second. I am going to get a drink of water. Yeah, I've moved into her flat. Or her house. So, like, this entire room that I'm in has my computer desk, the painting desk, my clothes, my golf stuff, you know, everything. Like, this has become my room because previously this was like a room that was covered in like mold because it was just where the clothes were dried. Just everything like winged in here, and it was just the box room. So I took it over. And now there's no space in this house or anything. Like literally, like at least once a day I was like, "There's no space in this house." How long have you been together, Simon? Oh, 1 second. So periodically checking in with the dog and making sure he's alright and stuff. Make himself a wee cup of tea. 4 months. Have been talking for a while. Just couldn't be better. I'm moving in. So I move in now or wait. Fair. I'm glad it's going well then. I wasn't sure because I think you were seeing someone last time we chatted. So I didn't want to assume. I was like, that person. Right. Yeah, oh god. Fair. Honestly, like, the older I get, the more I realize that, like, it's kind of difficult to find the one. I was very fortunate. Yeah, I get you. Like, no joke, 80% of our, like, Catherine and mine's time out in public is like, Jesus, those people are fucking melters, aren't we? Just perfect. You know, but, I mean, a couple of her friends are still, like, looking and are having a tough old time with things. That's really interesting, actually, how the contrast paint over the bone is different from over the white. I'm not quite sure which I prefer yet. We will see how it dries. We should be... Honestly, like, I think... I don't understand. Whenever I was in school, right, I was, like, so worried. Like, I'll never find a girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm so very lucky that I have one. But, like, so many guys now, it's gone the other way. Like, they're just like, oh, no, I'm just playing fucking Call of Duty, man. I'm just, like, going to the cinema on my own. It's weird, the shift. I don't know whether or not COVID had anything to do with that, where guys just suddenly discovered that actually they were quite happy being on their own. Like, I couldn't be without Catherine now, but, like, I don't know, I feel like so many people are just kind of happy with their own company now, whereas in the past I think it may have been a little bit kind of a little bit more complex, perhaps. I think that needs to be white, that. I don't know, this model is confusing me. In fairness, that's what we're kind of realizing with, like, kids. I mean, fair credit to anyone who sort of, like, either has kids or really, really wants kids. I feel like I'd still be a really good parent. But, like, I genuinely think that I would not be able... Like, I would cease to be my own person. And it's something I didn't quite expect, to have to, like, put your life on hold so completely. You know, I think it was different whenever you could have, like, someone work a part-time job, and, you know, like, if it was our situation, it would be me working the part-time job, and, you know, that would be fine. But, like, nowadays, trying to, like, work a part-time job, like, you kind of need 2 full-time jobs to support a household now. You know, it's that level of sort of, like, oh, what the fuckness. It's just a little bit ridiculous how much everything costs and how little you get paid in comparison. It is no longer economically possible for people to responsibly have kids. I mean, fuck, having a dog is hard enough sometimes. Actually, looks kind of good. We're getting there. Also, maybe I have a cup of tea downstairs, so I will go down and pick that up shortly. Where is Gilliman? Gilliman Flesh. There we go. I'll quickly paint it with the hands as well. So what, have you been gaming much then, Simon? Or are you more sort of in the real world? Because like there was a time where we would have played like Apex, Overwatch. And I've not played those games in ages. I kind of miss Apex, to be fair. But like I just don't have time. I'm not as perpetually online. Oh, don't remind. I literally had fucking, what did I have? I had toast at like 11 o'clock. Wow, I genuinely think I got really excited and put the stream on to go live. And I was like, gosh, I'm not eating it then yet. So I was like, scoff some toast. I just put a cup of tea on to the kettle to boil for a cup of tea because I realized that we were out having a couple of drinks last night. Or yesterday, and I think I'm still like 80% gin at this stage because it was a gin tour that we were on. Oh, that does sound good. Actually, I could. There's this there is this sort of healthy food company that has done sort of like burritos. Go Pig or Go Home, they're called. And very, very nice, actually. I do like them. I'm really jealous about the D&D thing, to be honest with you, Simon. Like, I have... Like, obviously I've got these, like, you know... I've now been asked to paint a couple of, like, D&D models for some people at work. But behind me, I have two D&D 5e compatible books. One is the Hellboy RPG, and the other is called Crooked Moon. I'll grab the Crooked Moon one because I'm waiting for some stuff to dry, but you'll find it interesting. Where is it? So yeah, I mean, the writing will be back to front, but am I Irish or Scottish? I am from Northern Ireland, which is why my accent's a little bit which is why my accent's a little bit funny. So I'm Belfast based, but I spent 8 years in Glasgow in Scotland. But yeah, this is an example of I don't even know what that. What do you mean, scoundrel? Because I don't know what that word is, and that terrifies me. But yeah, look at some of the archetypes here, Simon. In terms of, like, you know, Warrior of Pestilent Haze, Barrow Guard. I'm really terrified of dropping this in the paint. Yeah, Scoundrel, yeah. That's actually kind of cool, Barbarian. Didn't look at that. Oh, yeah, Scoundrel. Yeah. People with stronger accent from my area. Fucking love the idea of playing the Harvestborn though. Would be Scoundrel. Scoundrel. Although I think they'd probably use a term quite slightly less eloquent. But like, honestly, Simon, I would love to do something like this. My colleague, my co-worker in work is a dungeon master, but like I mean, it looks so cool. Yeah, did you get the digital of Crooked Moon Chrome? put that back on my shelf where it will remain for the next 5 months without being touched. Oh, you got both? Happy days. Dragon of Icespire Peak, just doing the normal pal build. No idea if my mate has that. The one who DMs for us, currently doing 3 set. Jerry's ass. Right, back to this as well. How would I do this? I wonder. Alright, this could ruin the entire model, so this is gonna be risky as fuck, but fuck it, we're doing it anyway. We're doing a little bit of stippling. At this early stage, to see if I can do what I'm kind of hoping to do here. Dry brushing always terrifies me because I never seem to do it right. Right, let's see. Let's see if I can get a bit of a white tinge going to the front. Actually, that actually works really well for actually just the skulls. So I should just do this in general. Stippling is sort of a newer technique that I've tried to pick up. Actually looks really well for the skull. Hardy, hardy, har. You mean this red army painter? Although it is also, you know, get fucked at it. Serious random. Like, I feel like Hobbycraft got a bad rap before it like started to close. Because it sort of did have the sort of old woman vibe for like knitting and the like, you know. Red and green. It is red and green. But it is now what I'm going to be putting on the model. So, a wished. Shut up your face. So, a little bit of that. That's not as bright as I thought it was. What was that technical paint I had? I think it was Hex Wraith, or was it like Night Haunt Gloom? It was Hex Wraith. No. What are you guys thinking so far? Does it look like it's coming together? Oh shit, forgot about the back. Never mind, hold that thought. My only problem with streaming painting is that A, it's a lot of talking. B, there's a higher propensity for me to fuck up and makes shit look bad. And C, or 3, you kind of feel compelled to finish a model this size in one painting stream. That's going to take a couple of coats, I think. Eey, that looks that's horrible coverage. Why am I having such issues with my ivories today? Yikes, that is bad. I wonder if I need more water in my wet palette, I'm not sure. But, yikes. It's not very good coverage. What's worse, I've got to do the back as well. Ew. Bwah, 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 bwah. Also, has anyone here, well, I know Chrome has, but has anyone here seen Gravity Falls? Because I'm currently rewatching that for the third time, and oh my god. Hence the, like, hence why I've got stickers out. There we go. Yikes. Not doing it justice there, but we'll keep going. Hopefully it'll all come together after a couple of coats. That did not do anything at all. If anything, that soaked up into the bristles, never to see the light of day again. Oh no. All the stippling has knocked my skull loose. Fuck. I wonder if I can save this with just some regular plastic glue. Probably not actually after the paint's on there. Fuck. I'll hopefully save that. That's fine. Aye. Aye. Okay. Anyway, that's fine. That did not work out how I wanted it. I don't know, actually. Does that have a sort of greeny glow to it, guys? The skull, if you can. Focus it all. Maybe just a hint. Didn't quite work out, but well, hopefully it'll be grand. Slight greeny hue to it. I'll go with that then. My colour blindness is playing a blinder on that one. Right, let's try and focus on these tassels at the back. Make the coverage slightly better. It is really weird, the sort of, like, particularly over Christmas, I watched the most random assortment of films. Like, one of the films we watched was Ice Age. We watched, like, the first three. Two surprising things to come out of that. A, they've done a Buck spin-off on Disney+, which has Simon Pegg look like it's entirely made on AI. It isn't, it's just shit. It kind of looks like a straight-to-video, like, Aladdin 3 level, or like Atlantis 2. Let's try and paint that. We are getting there at quite an impressive speed, though. We might actually get this model finished today. We've been live for an hour. We've 90 minutes, and we've gone from completely unpainted to motoring along. We are getting there with these tassels, but my god, they are a pain to paint. Not least of all because they have two sides to them. I probably should have painted them before we put them on, but they need to be full coverage is my only problem. Otherwise they're just going to look bad regardless of what I do. If there's like black streaks through it, they just look... Ooh, gotta watch the red of the cloak though. Jesus. One thing I'm not ready to be is a year older though. I can't believe my birthday's coming up again. Doesn't feel like it. Feels simultaneously so long since my last one and not long enough. I was having existential dread whenever I turned 30. I feel like I should be watching my cholesterol and shit now. Tell you what though, this is doing my mental a lot of good. It's quite nice just to be able to chat with you guys. It's something that I've gotten worse at doing. As I've, like... I think I became incapable of generating conversation. Because during sort of COVID and the like... A, you got out of practice with engaging with just people on a one-to-one or like a small group conversation, but B, I was very fortunate to have quite a chatty community, so I just played off other people. It made my life so much easier because I suddenly could just insert myself into conversations. It's something, funny enough, that I've realized that I'm really bad with doing in the workspace. I can't end conversations. I just end up standing there fucking awkwardly. So if anyone has any idea how to disengage from conversations, like going something random like I like skiing and then leaving, or walking into an elevator and just like waiting for the doors to close, that would be a great help because it's something that I am so bad at. I don't quite know how I'm going to paint some of these. I'm just going to have to keep on going in cycles, basically, I think. Alright, that's the same tune. Fuck off. Let's see, what other songs are there? telling you, it's a copyright that, for these things that does you in. Jesus. You motherfucker, I'm almost certain I've heard this thing before. Ah, Jesus. I'm gonna have to do my research into, like, good background tracks for painting, but, like, after the fourth time I hear that song, no thanks. Does remind me, actually, I was having a particularly tough time last week, so I literally went to the bath with a Spyro soundtrack on, and surprisingly, actually helped. Right. Gotta be really careful of the lovely red dress, because I'm actually quite happy with how that's turned out. It's quite plain. Like, I could probably do a little bit more texturing to it, but I'm okay with where it's at present. Depending on our time scale, I might have a little bit of a mess around with it, but... Right. There we go. I gotta change this music, like, to something that's at least slightly different. Hang on. Let's see. Maybe not. Not that one. Oh, fair enough. Nope. Looks like I can use this one. What is it? Ooh, maybe too much. Never mind. Ambient background music. It's so hard to know actually whether or not it's copyright struck, which is part of the issue. Let's do this one. Chirp, that'll do. Not gonna lie, this song does kind of sound like if Frodo was in the Pirates of the Caribbean universe. It is something I have to appreciate about the internet, actually, particularly the fantasy sort of like the Warhammer world, the all that, is how willing they are to share their creations. Like, they just want to make good shit and share it with people, which I think is class. You are, however, slightly louder than the last one. I think it's slightly less backgroundy, is the only thing. There we go. Put a wee thing there. Fuck. Nearly there on these goddamn tassels. Well, it is hard to paint quite far enough back in there. It's like literally just the middle tassel that I'm concerned about right now. It's so hard to reach. All it needs, that one doesn't even need to be fully coated. That one just needs to be enough to make it obvious that it's got paint on it. Because it's so far in shadow. I tell you what, it was a pain, but like I feel like it's actually coming together. There's a little bit of like a strange hueishness back here where I've obviously not moved to paint past the rock. And then we need to tidy up the top just, but we'll do that with a smaller paintbrush. What do you guys think so far? Is it coming together? I actually might need to just tidy up some of the shading on the white. Just here, it's slightly messy. Maybe just a little bit of a clean up on the headdress as well. Breathe in, guys. This is gonna be... fuck, how do I tackle this? It's like so tight. Yeah. And breathe. There we go. Woo! Right. Simon, you asked my potato colors. We're about to get on to the potato colors, more or less. Do I need to do one more pass of the... Maybe one more pass of this. There we go. Better. But yeah, we'll be going on to the browns soon. I think that I second guessed myself on the sort of the scarf-esque thing that she was wearing. I do think that probably should be red. I'm not necessarily painting it to the color scheme above. I'm sort of doing my own thing, but that is as inspiration and also to demonstrate what model I'm currently painting to you guys. Okay, so that's fine. I won't necessarily need or want to paint that. That's okay. Oh yeah, fuck, my tea. Hang on. Hang on a second. Wait for that to dry. I need to go get my tea. In un secondo. Alright. I'm back with a mint tea because that's all I could find in the house. Okay. What are we looking at here? Might be a bit daring here. I might, again... This is my problem. I can't leave things well enough alone. So I might end up fucking something up. I'm just not fully happy with how that flesh tones look. But the problem is my wet brush, my dry brush is now wet. So it's just causing issues. Slightly better. Not fully what I was hoping for, but oh well. Okay. Alright, let's tidy up the tassels. Where's my ivory? There. One thing I will say is that I'm going to be looking forward to going to dropper bottles. The Citadel paint line is good, but the dropper bottles are just so much nicer. And in fairness as well, I really prefer how some of the Vallejo paints look over the top. Sorry, above and beyond sort of Citadel sometimes. They just cover better. But not always. As I said, my favorite paint is the Word Bearer's Red. It's got such a lovely finish to it. It is my de facto go-to red paint. That being said, I'm struggling to get a point on this brush at the moment to try and highlight what is quite a tricky and annoying wiggly highlight. The general gist is there. Yeah, kind of. I'm not happy with it, but I'll be able to fix it up to make it look nice. I need that, and I need Lamian medium. What do you guys think? Should I put like I feel like it does need something here. Some form of writing, but I'm afraid that I'll fuck it up. Is my only issue. Which is my concern. Okay, it's partly done, but it's grand. Right. Did you just pop open on me? You did, bastard. So hopefully that'll work for that. Where do we go now? I wanted to leave the metallics to last. That's fine, I think. Browns, leathers. Where are my leathers at? That's burgundy. That's bronze. We will need bronze later. Keep on losing that. Wait, is that the bronze that's really fucking light? It is. Not that one. Brass. Brass with some silver is what we'll be needing later. That's Earthshade, Lead Belcher. Yeah, there you go. There we two. I do have Rhinox hide, but I think that's slightly too. No, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Okay. So she does have quite a bit of leathery bits to paint. Not least in the most pokey of places. Literally up her sleeve. I'm going to say on the underside of the van braces as well. Not that one, fully enough. I think that one's fully encased. This one looks to be the same. That's fine. We'll just a little bit in there. Okay. Now, away from the white parts, I'm going to say that this is leather as well. For holding the daggers, which will then be obviously solid. I may be wrong, but hey ho. That's what I'm going with. There's some rivets and the like. And then pull that down there. And in there. There's a nice wee possibility for accenting. Can't forget her harness to keep her whatever the fuck wind chime bullshit that she has in her back in place. Whatever that happens to be. She is adorned with the Comet of Sigmar in multiple instances. So on her vambrace, and that sort of comedy as well. The flail is quite holy warrior-ish as well. Sort of reminds me of I've forgotten the character in The Darkest Dungeon, the sister. No, that's not very helpful for those of you who have not sort of played The Darkest Dungeon, although I do have the board game, so that will probably be, depending on how you guys enjoy this type of content, that might eventually make its way onto the channel as something slightly different that isn't just Warhammer. Although I do have to give Warhammer props. Yes, it's more expensive, but my god, the way in which they make their models is something quite special. It really is quite an impressive art that they have perfected. There's something not quite there with this model yet, and I'm not quite sure what it is. Like, I'm not jumping up and down going, oh yes, this is amazing and this is nearly done. I don't know why, and that's concerning me. Need to be careful. Oh, need to tidy up the red there because it just got brown on it. In fairness, the metallics might help it pop a little bit. It's really hard trying to see. Okay, yeah. Now we're getting down to the fiddly bits. It'll probably take me a little bit more time. I'm seeing gaps and holes. I suppose on the plus side, this is never going to be a golden demon entry. Nor would I think I would want to. I don't think I could justify spending that amount of time whenever I've got other things that I want to do. However, I can fully appreciate how amazing some of that work is. I think I have a ways to go. Yeah, there's just a little bit of a belt there. I'm working through like a tiny wee window, almost. Itty bitty living space. That's fine, that's fine. Might do another cover of that. Okay. That was hard enough. Close that up for a while. Carefully paint the innards of this. There we go. Looks slightly better. And then just quickly tidy it up while we have the paint. Quickly tidy up the red where I brushed it with the there we go. That's fine. Okay. Why is this not feeling like I'm approaching a good point? Maybe it is just the metallics. Anyway, I'm focused on the leather for now. Can't really stipple with the situation we've kind of left ourselves in for the leather, so I'm going to do things, try and do things the old-fashioned way, and just sort of try and edge highlight if we can. Just a little bit of a difference. That's actually not too bad. There we go. Just a little bit of highlight there. Highlight the edge. Again, I feel like I need to actually take painting classes to be able to paint some things. Like leather is something that people manage to do so well, and I feel like it's something I've never been able to progress. I sort of just go through the motions of various browns and sort of try and be logical with my application of them. But some people manage to actually make them look like works of art. It's like it's a holster or a satchel bag, and they're like this easy 5-step plan. 15 hours later, look at this. It's a Mona Lisa. I think that is actually helping things just pop that little bit, though. That's fine, that's fine. Yeah, it's actually coming, that little tiny bit of detail on the brown seems to be making a little bit of a difference. Let's see if I can't add a little bit of ivory to the brown, just to a bit of variety. Variety, one might say. Nobody says that. I don't know why I make such horrible jokes sometimes. Oh, you bastard. So whenever the paint comes just that little bit drier, and you're sort of having to scrub it onto the model sometimes. There we go. There's a little bit of a highlight. Wee bit there. Actually, this satchel is coming up all right, even though I don't think I fully yet know what I'm doing. Actually, I'm happy with that. Need a little bit more scuffing. And then just a little bit there. There we go. Actually, I'm okay with that. Not bad. What do you reckon now, gang? Metallics? I think I need to do the staff. I think staff first and then metallics. And then the end will be insight. That's good tea as well. Right. I'm going to check my washing and then I'll be back. What? There we go. 10 minutes left on my washing, but it is, as anyone knows, a fucking lie. Never 10 minutes. It's like 20. Okay. Nope, that paint is gone. Actually, I have a good... That's bronze. I need to sort some of these. The dark, the Green Stuff World paints never quite had the longevity. The Scorched Wood, however, can be quite good. But it does have a tendency to solidify in the bottle. Nope, not using that. Fine then. I need to go through and sort some of these, because, like... nightmare. I was like, give Green Stuff World a shout out. Nope! Paint has stopped coming out of the bottle, and I need a drawing pin to free it up. So, fuck my life. Thank you, OneDrive. I don't care. It's amazing. I suddenly realized how many noises my computer makes, because normally it's on like do not disturb because I'm in a full screen application. Not this time. This is a very odd playlist. Altogether too happy for going into a cursed city. This is by no means perfect, to be fair, but it is actually coming together, I think. I hope. Okay. While we wait for that to dry, need to do a little bit of a touch up on the blouse again. Just to correct some of the there's a little bit here as well. There you go. Perfect. Doom, 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 boom, boom, boom. Maybe I use the white to highlight, actually. Just to... I don't know why it's so hard to highlight these things. Like, these are... I think because they are just straight and uniform, it requires a very steady hand, which I clearly do not possess. Ah, you bollocks. That was really bad. That was perp. I'll correct that and see if I need to do that again. On the last one. Aye. I do think we're onto the metallics though, which is exciting because it's kind of the end part. I do need to do bits and pieces on the base in terms of texture, but no, I think we're at the metallic part. Ugh. I've not used this in ages. I feel like I ought to, or at least use it more. Alright. Brass and silver, I think. I love this brass. It's not quite as nice as Screaming Bell, but it's a lot brighter. It's a brighter color. Again, may require 2 thin coats. Altogether too Christmassy. This music. I think her headdress likewise will be gold or brass. Won't be finishing this model this stream though. I think I will be having to pick it up and finish it during the week, or save this for next stream and do another model towards my tally. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this painting stream. I hope it's been fun for you. It's been really chill for me. I'm hoping the side effect is it will help me become a better streamer and painter. Have a little bit more tidying up around the headdress. Maybe try and gild it as well. It'll have silver accents, I think, so we'll try that. Right. Yeah. Definitely trying to get the brass down to where it needs to be. Yeah, we're okay. Okay. Let that dry for a second. I'm going to spin my washing. One second. There's nothing nicer than telling the dog that Kath will be home soon. He's like freaking out. It's like, oh my god, to be upset. Yes, let's go. Big win. Nothing for my ego, though. Who's this spare? Oh, Jesus, that is getting rock hard. Like, who's the spare person? I don't want the spare. clearly I've used a lot of this paint. Because it's getting low in the tub. Anyway, guys, I'm going to finish here, I think. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'll take a picture and put it in Discord. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to head out. Have a good rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next week for some more streams.